The Reds are having issues with Milwaukee. FCC's got their goalie out. And then we're getting the Bengals draft talk popping. What positions should the Bengals take? What position should they attack first? And is T. Higgins going to get traded? We got that and more coming up on Big Play Cincy.
What is up, Cincinnati sports fans? Welcome to Big Play Cincy. I'm excited to be here. I'm also excited. I think that's the first time I've got that correct in saying Cincinnati sports fans and not Bengals fans. Obviously, you guys know we used to be just a Bengals show. As Drew takes a sip of that lovely garage beer. How you doing today, Drew?
So good. I'm good, man. We had some issues with the Reds game last night, and our boost through Tipico we can talk about. But good day today. So rain delay, so no opportunity to lose money today on the Reds.
Hey man, that's good, but I don't know. No opportunity is a bad opportunity, right? You'll make the money back. So, where do you want to start off, man? Do you want to start with the rain delay and the Reds and kind of your boost and talk about that, even though it didn't turn out how we thought it would?
Yeah, so we had the super boost. Well, I don't know if you call it a super boost. We called it a boost with our friends at Tipico, and what that was a Spencer Steer home run, aka piss missile, in the Reds money line. Now, by the bottom of the third, they were down 5-0. It was looking rough, and I said, "Hey, hold the line. These are the Rally Reds we're talking about." They put up 8 in the 5th inning the other day, and it just never happened. We did get an Ellie piss missile. He did go yard. But it was a bad night for the boost. But look, there was a rain delay. It threw everything off. The vibes were high. The rain delay threw everything off. Now, I do have a really cool thing that I think we're going to try to do with Tipico, where you and I pick 2 legs of a parlay. Ooh. And then we're going to let the viewers and the people that follow us on social media determine the 3rd leg of a parlay. So we're going to try to get maybe the fans involved to pick the 3rd leg of the parlay that we can kind of ride out together as a group. So not going to have a boost today for the Reds because there was a rain delay, and it may have saved the Reds a little bit because I'm not gonna lie. The Reds might have a problem with the Milwaukee Brewers. All right, it started out good. Ellie had the game where he went yard. I won $240 with our friends at Tipico on that one. And then he hit an inside the park home run because he's the fastest man alive, maybe the most electric man in all of baseball. And then they won, and then it's just been bad ever since. Hunter Green got absolutely lit up last night. He did throw 9 strikeouts, but they just hit him all around the yard. The defense just wasn't good. They're forcing outs at third when they're looking to try to get out of this, when they're trying to stop the bleeding, I guess you should say. But we do have a good comment from Wedge Gordon. We got to start with the garage beer mic cover. We engineered this together. We put our brains together, our 2 gigantic brains, and we figured this out about 4 minutes ago. Is when this happened. So Ron, with the huge brain he has, just decided he was going to go straight garage beer mic cover.
So we obviously will get the sports guys chill out, okay? We got to go off on a tangent before we can get down to business. So one of our good buddies with Big Play, Cleveland, Cleveland, gross, but Nick Pedoni had a wonderful microphone with one of our lovely sponsors on it. So Drew had the idea of taking a can and putting it on a mobile mic when we do our mobile content. And then I kind of went, what if I just put it on my mic right here? So I took the old.
I'm going to turn this into a garage beer mic.
Exactly. I took the old Gerber here, okay? And I took this garage beer can, I cut it up, and decided to throw it on my microphone. So if I sound like I'm speaking in a tin can today, we'll figure it out later. So, but I'm all here for
it. It still sounds good.
Good.
Cade Breezy's here, gave us a hoot. Sir Boy wants us to buy the hype. I got the hype in bulk. All right. The Reds, couple losses in a row, are not stopping me from going to Sam's, going to Costco, and getting the hype in bulk. So don't worry about that. Yep. The hype is always going to be in stock. Wedge Gordon loves the idea of the viewers picking the 3rd leg of a parlay. So I think I'll talk to our folks at Tipico and try to get that going here in the next couple of days. But
I do like that.
Sir Boy says the Reds have had that issue since David Bell walked in the door. There's some talk. Some people want David Bell fired. And my opinion on David Bell has always been I like when he just goes ape shit on umpires. I think it's awesome.
I do too.
I think it's
Yeah.
hilarious. He just motherfucks these guys up and down the base paths and then gets
Yeah.
tossed. I think it's cool. Fires your team up. I think that's awesome. But is he a good baseball manager? I can't pretend to know enough about being a baseball manager to tell you if I know that or not. But I do like the guy. He seems like he rides for his guys.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. That's a
He said,
I do like that. Not 2K Ron. Oh, wait. Okay, he's not saying my picture's bad. Good. We're good there. He's
no, the
telling
old
me
cannon string.
Yes, dude. I always go back to my roots. Drew did say if it was it 10 minutes before the show, he said, dude, if you can't pull this off, I have many questions about our United States military. So you guys
That's
now
true.
know. You now know that the United States Army can cut a beer can up in under 10 minutes and retrofit it to a microphone. So you're safe. Sleep tight tonight, guys.
America is safe. America is healing. So I'm going to just be completely honest with you here.
Go for it.
And I don't know if I'm going to get heat for this or not. I don't know what the general public's feeling on this is, but the Reds should bring back Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer had the sexual assault allegation thrown at him that was proven to be false. There's text messages of this woman telling her friend she's going to get his money, blah, blah, blah. Completely innocent man. Completely innocent man. And we're talking about the Reds. Is there somebody in the starting rotation that needs to go down? It's probably not going to be Hunter Green because he had a big money deal. But why not give the guy a shot? He said he'd play for the league minimum, put incentives in there. It'll be fine. He did not do it. I did another show, another podcast back in the day when this first dropped, and I said, if Trevor Bauer did this, he should suffer the consequences. He should go to jail. But if he did not do this, let's make that as loud as the allegations were. And it never is. It hasn't been. But I would like to see Trevor Bauer back in a Reds uniform. He'll play for next to nothing. If he becomes a locker room problem like some people have said he is, you can just cut him because he said he would take next to no money to come play baseball for the Reds. The man was proven innocent in court. Why not get the guy back in there and let him throw some baseballs? That's just my personal opinion on the matter. That's maybe my hot take of the day. Is it going to get me canceled? I don't know. But the guy didn't do it. It's proven he didn't do it. He was a damn good pitcher. He got paid all that money to go to LA after he left Cincinnati because he was a damn good pitcher. The Reds can maybe use a little bit of pitching help. Why not bring the guy back?
The take is so hot that I want to pull the pin on this smoke grenade and fill the room with smoke. I did not expect you to bring that on the show today. I am a loud verbal hater of Deshaun Watson, as you are as well. So in the beginning of the Trevor Bauer saga, I was a kind of a loud Trevor Bauer hater, but like you said, he got proven innocent. So I don't know where I morally stand on that. So, I mean, if he's innocent, let him play baseball.
He didn't
So
do it.
I guess if you bring him back and he plays ball, he plays ball. I hate the stigma around it. And the not notoriety, the coverage it would bring the Reds. I don't think I like that. But I also do like the Reds winning. So, I mean, if you can bring the guy in and they start to win, then I guess that all goes away, right?
I made a fatal mistake. I sat down without my lip boomers. Had to go get them.
Throw it in there. Throw it in there. That is guy
didn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I feel you didn't back me in a corner here, so don't think that. But I do feel kind of like, oh shit, what do I say here? Which is weird, right? I mean, but if the guy didn't do it, and I've seen the text messages and I've seen all that where she was pretty much saying, I'm going to take this dude for what he's worth. Let him play baseball. The fact that he says he'll come back for that league minimum or whatever is kind of wild to me. Like, I know he was doing these kind of weird, like chopped up 1-year deals or whatever, so he could be like the controller of his own career. And that was kind of an unprecedented thing at the time. But like, if he comes back and we don't have to pay him shit, okay, let's play baseball.
I think that the guy lost his career for something that it was proven that he didn't do.
Yeah.
And it's very, very different from the Deshaun Watson situation because there's not 26 of these accusations.
You're correct.
So I don't know. I don't know. That's just an idea I have as a baseball casual. But I've had a lot of fun watching Ellie De La Cruz be Ellie De La Cruz. I know he got charged with an error on that throw to India a couple nights ago. I think that was ridiculous. I think that was probably should have been charged to India, but Ellie's finding his way. He's 22 years old, man. The guy's going to figure things out.
He's a young man.
Maybe he does. I don't know if I would call the plays lazy, but it seems like he's just trying to be smoother than maybe he's ready to be at this point in his career.
You've got some of that, right? Some of that. And then like there's Hunter Green, right? Who's got all the talent in the world, but he's not consistent right now, right? So, and I guess we've moved on from the Bauer thing, but he could come in and fix that. But I don't know. There's all kinds of talent on this Reds roster. We've got guys that can hit, go ahead, say it.
Piss missiles.
Out of the damn park and do it consistently. So they'll get into a rhythm, man. There's 100 and blah, blah, blah games a year. Let's get into a rhythm and win some baseball games.
Lots of compliments in the chat to your garage beer microphone cover. It's funny that Josh calls it fancy because it's the exact opposite of fancy that happened right before we went live. But
cut up beer can, guys. It's
Am I a loser now because I just have this regular mic? Do I gotta make one?
Get your bum ass off this screen with no mic cover. You have to make one. Mute yourself. Cut it up. Oh yeah, go with the regular garage beer. I went lime because I'm fancy like that. Go with the regular garage beer.
Do I just hold it here the rest of the show?
You have
this to. This is full.
Okay, but
it's full.
Here's where I lose out in the garage beer competition. That hoodie. That hoodie's gorgeous. Did you have that on when we started, or did you go put that on?
No, I had it on.
Okay.
I had it on. Kevin asked about that. This is a good point. When's the lime garage beer hoodie dropping? Like a green garage beer lime hoodie. I'll have to hit him up. Is the white one comfy? It's comfy, dude. It's so comfortable.
The green.
It's so comfortable.
Construction worker's dream, man.
The
what was that one? Did you mean to pop that one up?
I didn't, but we can go into it. Wedge is saying the difference between Trevor Bauer and Deshaun Watson is Watson had 26 settle out of court and they have NDAs. That is a big difference. Matt Schultz is here saying, God, negotiate like David Mulugeta and get a good mic you don't need. David Mulugeta is public enemy number one in Cincinnati these days.
Yeah, dislike button. Definitely
with
very
some of
good
that.
at his job.
We're gonna get into that here, but first, let's do our first ever Big Play Cincy FC Cincinnati segment with Cincinnati soccer expert, Bengal Lauren. Take it away. What's going on in the FCC world?
Newer to the sport. People watched me 3 years ago hop on this FC Cincinnati train, and I've never looked back. This show used to be Blue Collar Bengals. We'll never forget that route. But we've evolved, and we're talking about Cincinnati sports as a whole. That's Reds, that's FC, that's Bengals. Hell, you might see some Cyclone stuff in here sometimes. It's going to happen. We love this city, and we're going to keep going on with it. But, dude, FC Cincinnati's next match coming up here, they've got Montreal, all right? And you've seen my videos. I'm 100% sure that's how they say Montreal up in Canada. So you guys can take it up with the Canadians. But, some current events going on right now. Kubo is reported, and this is all from Laurel, who is a wonderful, wonderful FCC Cincinnati reporter who I talk with on the X app. But Kubo out. Go.
Did they give her credentials back?
She's got them back. Yes, she's got them back. Yeah,
good.
That was wild.
I don't really know her or know much about FC Cincinnati. Not to cut you off, but I saw that she lost her credentials and everybody was pissed about it. So I was just pissed with them because we ride for the good reporters in the city.
No, yeah, she got him back. Kudos to both sides now settling that and her being back. But a lot of my information I get about soccer, I get from her, realistically, right? I'm a football guy first, but I'm a diehard Cincinnati guy. So we got guys. Kubo missed a couple days of training, but it sounds like Pat Noonan's saying he's going to be on the field this weekend against Montreal. Okay, so that's good. We're going to have a good forward out there playing. The big news story is still Roman Celentano, our fearless goalkeeper, who's going to be out again with that ankle injury, right? But the good news there is he's recovering faster than they thought he was going to recover. And so they're aiming for April 20th against Atlanta for him to come back. And I mean, heck, he was like a top goaltender in the league prior to this ankle injury. And I think it was 6 outings. He had 3 clean sheets. And only 3 goals allowed. So, I mean, when you've got a guy like that in the net who can be consistent and stay consistent, you're going to want him on the field. So, I mean, his replacement this weekend, I'm hitting the garage beer mic, so I apologize if you hear the tin can. We've got Alec Kahn and Evan LaRue in goal. We don't know who's going to be on the sheet yet to step in and keep the ball out of the back of FC Cincy's net on their side of the field, but who knows? I don't know. My game prediction for this weekend is FC 2, Montreal 1. So one thing I do want to bring up, though, man, the show is brought to you by Tipico Sportsbook, a killer sportsbook, a reliable sportsbook that both Drew and I lose and make money on because that's the nature of the beast. I locked in a little dingy here, right? Okay, so I've got FC Cincinnati money line, and then I've got the over on 1.5 goals, right? So I put that ticket in. You guys have seen me post it, okay? Go to Tipico Sportsbook. You can bet on baseball, soccer, hockey, football, anything you want, man. It's on there, right? I was looking at like European women's soccer teams I've never heard of the other day just to see what kind of lines were there and what kind of scratch I can make real quick on the side to lay down on our Cincinnati teams at a later date. But go check out Tipico Sportsbook now. Easy download, very user-friendly, man. That's soccer talk, man. Real quick, love the team. You'll see some coverage of it throughout our tenure here on this show. But what else you got, Drew? That's all I got for FC Cincinnati today.
So as somebody that doesn't know anything about it, is FC Cincinnati good or do they stink?
No, they're good.
I know
man.
they were good. I know they were good for a while.
So last year, FC Cincinnati won what's called the Supporter Shield, right? And it's very confusing. And these are things that I've learned, right? The Supporter Shield is like the Lombardi. Like they won that league, right? They
won the soccer Lombardi.
That's to me, that's what it is. And I'm gonna get hate from people when we clip this. And they're going to be like, well, hold on, technically, especially from our Columbus Crew people. But look, they were that trophy goes to the best team in the league, the team with the best record, right? In American sports, that's usually where you end it, okay? But then they go on and they do this other thing where the Columbus Crew ended up winning the tournament and they were deemed the champions or whatever. I'm not going to pretend to completely understand it because, quite honestly, I think it's stupid. We had the best record at the end of the season, right? Just leave it there. They go to this playoff or whatever. We get knocked out. It is what it is. We still have the trophy. The trophy's cool, by the way. It's been at Bengals tailgates. It's been all over the place. It's been on other podcasts. It's an awesome looking trophy. It's literally like a big shield, right? So we had the best record. We were the best team. Suck it, Columbus.
Well, let's just talk about nothing good is in Columbus. All right.
No.
The Buckeyes, they stink. They get ran over by Michigan every single year.
You are gonna
backup coach or no backup coach.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
the place stinks. And
yeah.
I am now proclaiming myself an FC Cincinnati fan. Do I know anything about the sport? No.
You don't have to.
I can bet on it. I'm for it. You know what I'm going to do? Probably every game that there's rumors, and I don't know if these are supposed to get out, but I'm going to just go ahead and do it. There's rumors of Big Play Cleveland, who are big Crew fans up there, and Big Play Cincinnati meeting in Cleveland for some hell is real FC Cincinnati Columbus Crew action.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Hey, pull up.
I'll buy an FCC jersey. Somebody tell me where to get one.
They're nice jerseys too, man. They're nice jerseys. You got to get one on the back that's got some badass garage beer nickname or something on it, dude. Yeah. The hell is real derby. Sounds like we're going to attend with the Big Play Cleveland guys who are Columbus Crew fans because FC didn't exist at the time. And I don't know if they would be FC Cincinnati, fans. I don't know if they would be if we existed first. Who knows? But hey, pull up K Breezy's comment at 818 there. So this basically explains what I was trying to explain to you, right? We didn't win the MLS Cup. The MLS Cup is just this trophy you win at the end of the end of the season playoff, right? So we won the Supporter Shield, which is the regular season trophy, right? All right. Make one trophy, right? That's my beef with the end of the season, right? The end of the season, we had the best record. Either end it there or make the whole thing the playoff trophy, right? So I
So
don't
it's
know.
not. So
It's
the Shield is
confusing.
not the soccer Lombardi.
It should be though, because the playoff is silly. The playoff to me is silly. I don't know. We had the
I
best
think the
record at the end
MLS
of the
Cup's the
season.
soccer Lombardi.
I don't know, man. It's weird because like at the end of the season, we had the best record. So it bothered me when it happened.
It's probably. I think it's probably similar to like the AFC Championship trophy and then the Super Bowl trophy.
I guess, I guess, but the playoff is the way they set it up is weird. I just stuttered like an idiot there, but the way it's set up is weird, and I'm not going to claim to be able to explain it in its entirety. But like they like end the season and they do this whole ceremony where they give you this trophy and stuff because you have the best record in the entire league, right? And then they go into this weird playoff where teams can still be in it who like weren't involved or good enough to be near the MLS Cup, and it's very weird. I tried to compare it to football playoffs last year, and I couldn't. They didn't fit together in my head. And there maybe a more educated soccer fan, Laurel, I'll probably message you after this, can educate me on why the playoff works the way it does, but it just doesn't make sense in my head.
Here's my thing with soccer: game's
Mhm.
90 minutes, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that correct?
yeah.
But then they're
they're
like, "Hey, there may
stop
be
it.
some extra time," and we're like, "Okay, how much?" And they're like, "It's a
We don't know.
secret."
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what? I don't understand.
yeah.
Somebody
But
could probably explain it to me and make me understand, but they're just like, the game's going to be longer than 90 minutes. Well, how much longer? I'll never tell.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't know, but like at any time they roll out stoppage time, I'm always like, oh hell yeah, free soccer. Like it's fun, like because the games have always been good. Sometimes it's like 11 minutes, and you're like, holy shit, just end this. Like it's 2-0. They're not going to score 2 goals. They're playing like crap. Let's just end this. But I don't know.
I want to go to an FCC game and sit in that area where they like shoot off like
Oh, it's
colors and
so
shit.
sick. It's so sick.
Um,
Yeah.
they're like, it's just, they're shooting off like, I don't know. What is it? Just like colored powder?
Oh, they've
I
got
don't
they've
know.
got smoke, drums, there's guys chanting, they have like organized cheers. They need to like kind of bring some of that culture into football. Like the organized cheers and stuff, like I didn't know them. So like when I was sitting in the section, I at the Bailey it's called, I didn't do the cheers. I was just like watching everybody around me like holy crap, this is insane. And I went and I looked up like different stadiums and how they do their supporter sections. FC Cincinnati supporter section is legit in the MLS. Like it is a
We're not
really,
going to,
really good one.
we're not going to give any free ads to the namesake of their stadium.
Oh yeah, we can't do that. Yeah.
Place
No.
stinks. The only thing that place ever did was get me a wife.
Yeah, that's true.
Which was good, which is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Kevin says you cannot breathe if you're in the Bailey. Is that what it's called? Because the
It's called the
smoke is
Bailey.
thick.
It passes.
THICC thick.
Need a Q in there. It passes, but like, dude, imagine the Bengals stadium every time they score. I guess not every time they score a touchdown, but like if a massive thing happens or we win, just all of a sudden, just smoke billowing out of everywhere, orange smoke. Like it's pretty cool. Hockey does it sometimes in the nets, like especially minor leagues, the lights and the smoke and stuff. I don't know. It's just like adds to the atmosphere and the fanfare. And I like Bengals fans are loyal fans, and I'm a Bengals fan first always, right? And these other sports are not secondary, but I just know more about football, right? But watching the Bailey and the FC Cincinnati like diehards, dude, don't get in the way of their team. That's what I'm saying. Like they are legit.
They burn down cities over soccer in Europe. So
Yeah, I don't think we're there
yeah.
yet, but I don't know.
This is all I know. I'm down to
Yeah.
go to FC Cincy games. I'm down to yell stuff. I'm down, and I'm just gonna bet the over on every
Always.
soccer game that I
Yeah,
go to
always.
and just root for complete chaos. Is what I'm gonna do.
Absolutely.
I can sit there and just be like, blue team put ball in goal. Other team do not, right? So I
Yeah.
can cheer for soccer if I just know that much about it. So we can do that. But I
Yeah.
think there's talk of us going to both matchups between FC Cincinnati and Columbus,
I'm
and I
in.
think that would be fun because anytime I can root for the city of Columbus to lose, I'm in.
Oh yeah, I'm always in. Heck yeah. I
Place
always forget.
stinks.
I always forget that Columbus is not your shtick because of the Buckeyes. I always forget that.
Yeah, but I love people that live in Columbus. There's nice places in Columbus. I'm just talking about sports wise. The place stinks.
Oh yeah, I know.
Great people, great. That's about it. Good people up there. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We got some Bengals stuff coming up. We got news
Yeah.
coming out now that NFL teams are going to be approved to wear a third helmet. So the Bengals have
Yeah, I'm
the
excited.
standard orange and black stripes. They have the white helmet with black stripes. But now, starting in 2025, the Bengals will be able to have a third helmet. Now, this year, teams that are in a uniform transition are approved to use it. So, like Houston's getting new uniforms, and I think a couple teams are. They'll be able to use the third helmet this year, but the Bengals will have to wait until 2025.
Yeah,
because they're not going through uniform transition. So the mocks have been flying around on Bengals Twitter of the old 60s throwbacks. They've got the throwback of the black helmet with the orange stripes. So we just wanted to have a little conversation with the chat and see what you guys thought about some of these helmet mock-ups that our good buddy Dalton's Signature worked up on his Twitter. Phenomenal. Yeah. Dalton's a great graphic designer. He comes up with really cool concepts. Dude is uber talented. So he's got the there in the top left, you see the old throwback to the first Bengals uniforms, essentially.
Let's break them.
The orange helmet.
Let's break them down. I mean, let's go one by one. What do you think of that? Like, if that is what were to happen in 2025, obviously some uniform transition would have to happen as well. So, like, we've dedicated that, like, kind of that white uniform as our fourth uniform, right? So we can't have that historic helmet unless we switch up one of our uniform combinations, because basically the NFL has come out and said if you use a historically significant helmet, i.e. our old pumpkin helmets, on the field, it has to, pretty much be what it was back then, match the uniform and be as historically accurate as it was back then. So, like, what do you think if they do that and they just bring back the old look?
Well, the Bengals do have a uniform slot available because they got rid of the color rush,
but
which was their alternate.
I thought they slid the whites in there, and we no longer did. Maybe I'm mistaken. Am I mistaken?
That's not an alternate uniform, though. That's their primary white uniform. They just got permission from the NFL to wear the white helmet with it. So that doesn't count as a alternate uniform slot. As far as I know, I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. But to wear the helmets that we're talking about there in the top right, they have to go back to the old 60s uniforms. I personally do not like it.
Okay.
Because I think that looks far too much like a Browns uniform.
It does.
I think they look like Cleveland uniforms when you put the old jersey on with the lower stripes. You know, Paul Brown left the Browns, started the Bengals. The uniform looked very similar there for a while. I just personally wouldn't like it with that. I would like, I'll get into that later. We'll continue breaking down the helmets. Then if you go over to the second one on the top there on the right, you've got a black helmet with a gray stripe, which would require a new uniform set because there's nothing that really matches that now. How are you feeling about the gray?
I think that's pretty cool. I don't know like what you wear it with. Again, it doesn't match anything. I guess is my like. Do you wear it with the blacks? The blacks have the orange stripe on the shoulder. Do you wear it with the whites? I guess you could do that. That wouldn't look bad. What do you think it pairs with? Because I'm reading through now. I think what the Bengals did is they slid that white uniform into the fourth slot. So I'm just going off of what Joe Goodberry has posted from his communication with the team. Yeah, he is smart. So they added a fourth by making the all white the fourth option. So I guess, do we break it down? We've got black with the orange helmet. We've got orange with the orange helmet, white with the orange helmet, and then the all white would be the fourth option, according to Goodberry. So you would have to switch.
I thought since it was their primary white uniform that it didn't count, but he's smarter than me. I admit
I'm
it. So
thinking the way the old rule read, and again, why we didn't completely figure this out before we started talking about it is the beauty of this show. But I'm thinking I'm thinking because it is with the white helmet, it's the fourth one. So let's go
that's
with the
dumb.
yeah, I agree. Let's go and let's go into La La Land. We know some uniform swaps would have to happen, and just pretend that everything could just work out, right? So if we do this kind of black with silver stripes, I don't know what you wear it with. To me, you'd have to almost do a new jersey combo. What do you think?
Yeah, it would have to be. It would have to be a black uniform
Yeah.
with gray accents. So I don't know that that works. But then you move down to the bottom left and you have the white helmet, black stripes, but the orange outline around
Hmm.
the stripes. I think that would look cool as hell with the primary whites that they have now. I
Yeah.
think because you have the orange accents on the jersey already. Maybe you wear the pants with the orange striping up the side with that helmet. I think
Oh,
that's pretty
maybe.
cool.
Yeah. If they would wear it right, I think it could look cool. But I do like that
Uh,
traditional white helmet. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yeah, the traditional one that they've just rolled out the last couple years is
Hmm.
cool as hell. And then
This
you've
this
got the white that transitions
yeah,
up kind of a fade into the orange.
that's to me is
That's an interesting
sick.
one.
I love that, dude. It almost looks like a tiger and like the tiger's belly. You know what I mean?
I feel like that would almost look good with white pants, orange jersey, that
Yeah.
helmet.
Hell yeah. That would look gnarly. Do I have that here? No, I've got orange pants, orange jersey, black pants. But I like that, dude. I think that's a cool look. Would they do it? I don't know. What team tried that? Jacksonville did that. Jacksonville had the gold transition to the black, and I'm pretty sure
Those were
that was
fucking hideous.
I'm pretty sure they were unanimously hated. I don't think anybody liked that helmet. Who else does a transition? Doesn't Atlanta have some kind of like transition jersey that people don't really like? I could be in the minority here.
Yeah.
I could be in the minority here in liking this, but I think the white transition to the orange, that would be badass. I think that's cool. Yeah, there we go.
My
Wedge
favorite
Jordan.
though is
Yeah.
my favorite is the one that you see big on the right. Let's just do the
Oh
Cincy
yeah,
hat helmet.
dude.
All right. It can kind of look like a Browns helmet, but the Browns are going to white face masks.
Hmm.
So we know that that'll be a little bit different.
Yeah,
But do the old Cincy hat logo. I mean, I've already got it tattooed on my body.
yeah.
You've already got it tattooed on your body. So we could just
Bunches up here,
roll with the
dude.
Cincy hat logo on there.
It's a cool logo. I don't think they would do it just because it's like already the charity thing and like already a big thing. But like, dude, it's a cool logo. When the
It
Bearcats
is.
when the Bearcats bust out for like basketball, those kind of retro jerseys that say Cincy on them, like that's one of my favorite looks. And like I just like Cincy. Like when you have CINCY, like it looks cool. It's a badass representation of the city. And I love the fact that it confuses people that aren't from here because they think an I should be there, but it's a Y. So I don't know.
Please
It's a cool
stop putting
logo.
CINCI.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so some cool concepts that we could think about.
Yeah.
Moving
Yep.
into the the new era of NFL uniforms. But what we really need includes the regular orange helmet with black stripes. We need the leaping
Yeah.
tiger throwbacks.
Oh yeah.
The Joe Burrow throwbacks that I see. I know Goodberry's worn one. I've seen him at a game with it. I've seen people on Twitter have them. You can get them at Cook Sports. They're not cheap, but I would rock one of those every day of the week. I'd have a white one and a black one. I think the leaping tiger coming back would be so damn cool.
Oh, I agree, dude. Like the old Ocho Cinco, like that era, man. Oh,
Yeah.
I love those jerseys. Fucking love it. Fucking love it, man.
So we've got that coming up. So we've got time for the Bengals to figure out how they're gonna get involved with the third helmet if they decide to. But football wise, there have been some reports flying around. Came out today that apparently T. Higgins and his camp have not spoken to the Bengals since his trade request at the middle of March, right when the new league year was beginning. So reports are zero conversations between the two. And that's starting to make people wonder if he's going to get moved. Is he going to get traded maybe before the draft? And
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and put it out there.
Yeah.
Nothing's been substantiated.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's been proven to have smoke or legs, but
are you about to throw up
Bengals Twitter can't stop talking about a Justin Jefferson trade that's apparently out there. Now, this is not a knock to anybody on Bengals Twitter. Do your thing. I had the Joe Tooney information in the free agency after 2020. I spoke with his sister throughout free agency. They wanted him to come to Cincinnati. The Bengals didn't offer the money. Chiefs gave him a big bag, blah, blah, blah. I still get cooked for not, and I said the whole time, the Bengals pay the man. He wants to come here. They didn't want to pay him right. He went, blah, blah, blah. I still get shit on for that not happening to this day by people on Twitter, even though I shared like the proof of the conversation. That's neither here nor there. These people are out here. There are people on Bengals Twitter that are saying that they have sources, that they're hearing this, that, and the other, that there's legs to this Justin Jefferson trade. It seems so wildly unrealistic, so out there. They don't want to pay T a bunch of money because they have to pay Jamar, but they're going to pay Justin Jefferson. But then in my mind, I get to start thinking about how things have come out in the timing of this stuff. And I start getting my conspiracy theorist on because I'm like, you remember last year when Jamar Chase said he would take a pay cut to play with Justin Jefferson? Did you see that video that just came out of Justin Jefferson talking to Kevin Hart saying he was jealous that Joe Burrow gets to play with Jamar Chase? Did you see the report that the Bengals may be interested in trading T. Higgins now? And why is all this stuff coming out right at the same time? And that's probably just the fan in me wanting this to be true. But go ahead.
It's just like everybody take a collective deep breath. Like if the Bengals are not talking to T. Higgins, I didn't know that until I saw that today. I don't remember what account it was, but like if they're not even communicating, that's not a good sign to me. It's just not a good sign. I'd love T. Higgins to stay here and play football as a happy contributing member of the team. But if T. Higgins is going to be here and he's going to be pissed off and disgruntled, I don't know that he would. I think he's a professional. I'm sorry, let's trade him. And if some way, somehow, we can turn T. Higgins and probably our first round pick this year and potentially next year, maybe the second next year, I don't know what gets it done, but I think it's more than some Bengals fan want to stomach, that really, really, really place a ton of value on T. Higgins, and I don't knock you for it, but I don't think other teams see T. Higgins through the same lens as a lot of us fans do. I don't think they do. I just don't. But if we can turn that situation into Justin Jefferson, holy crap. And again, we're just spitballing here, right? We're spitballing. Who knows if it's going to happen? Nobody knows if it's going to happen. That would be unbelievable if it did, right? But in my mind, we've got some places we need to bolster this year. The line, the defensive tackle position, but like we are not bleeding from the gut this season, like the season that's coming up. We are not bleeding from the gut at a position to where I absolutely would not give up that pick 18. I would give up pick 18 and find a defensive tackle in the second round. You're probably going to draft 2 this year, to be honest. 1 in the second, and then later on. We got our Band-Aid tackle. What if we did a Rams thing, right? Where we just mortgaged a little bit of our future, got the best wide receiver core ever assembled, and went and won a ring. I'll take the ring, man. If we got to mortgage a little bit of our future here and not be conservative and attack, I'll take a Super Bowl ring. Flat out.
To add a little bit more smoke to the Justin Jefferson thing, now I have aggregated the idea on Twitter and made jokes and things. I'm not saying that I have any information that it's actually going to happen. I don't know shit. But then you see K Breezy's comment. Why were Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson hanging out in the same hotel room the other day?
Was that not old? Was that old?
I didn't know it was old.
If it's a recent picture. Okay.
And then we've got Chris Babb. Why is it that Minnesota's bringing in Jaden Daniels for a top 30 visit when they're not nearly in the range to draft this guy?
Because they're going to.
But how could they move up for a quarterback? Is because they got another first round pick. And
Yeah.
how do they do that? They do that by sending Justin Jefferson to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So, see, the realist in me is like, all right, man, this is out of control. If if they did it, Burrow's got to rework his deal. Chase has to take a good chunk less.
Yeah.
Jefferson has to take a good chunk less, or they mortgage their future totally, because if they're paying both of those guys like top receivers, because maybe guaranteed money is not as big of an issue for Jefferson, but it's like, how much of your future are you mortgaging in that situation? But I also think about Justin Jefferson's over here, Jamar Chase is right here. Like, so it's very easy for me to get caught up in this because there's a lot of stuff that the video comes out. And then the visit with Jaden Daniels. Minnesota's clearly desperate for a quarterback. All they got right now is Sam Darnold. Yeah. So I think they're desperate to move up for a quarterback. But then if you're going to facilitate that trade, before that trade happens, T. Higgins has to agree to a new contract with Minnesota, and Justin Jefferson has to agree to a new contract with Cincinnati. So there's a lot of moving parts there. But there's some people on the old Twitter app, dude, I have no reason to believe they have sources, but they swear that they have sources.
Yeah, it's got some legs. Throw up K Breezy's tweet here, and I'm not crapping on you, K Breezy. I love you to death. But the 840 one, the one at 840. So this is what I see from some people. I'll give them T in our comp picks, and then if they bulk throw in a fourth, I'm going to be honest with you, that's not going to get it done. I love T Higgins. But we as a fan base overvalue his value as a player to other teams. T. Higgins does great things here, but he is not just – it's not a 1-for-1 swap and some rinky-dink picks. Like, it's T. Higgins and our first this year and potentially our first next year. Like, that is what people would have to be comfortable paying. And if it ends up being the second next year, that's great. They would have to be comfortable paying that in order for this to happen.
That's what I think the floor for it would
I agree.
It would be T agreeing to a new deal. It would be the first this year and a second next year at minimum.
At minimum.
Let's not get confused here. Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in football.
Yeah.
He's better than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase would become our second best receiver. And holy shit, Jamar Chase is our second best receiver would be crazy. Now, I can't help it. Nuts. I said on Twitter the other day, I said on my Twitter account, Justin Jefferson is a Bengal until proven otherwise. Until he signs an extension with Minnesota or gets traded somewhere, damn it, he's a Bengal in my eyes. But the realistic side is like, man, it would just. But, then I start thinking about this. People are saying, well, if Chase, Burrow, and Jefferson take less to play in Cincinnati, that's unfair. It's not unfair.
Why is it unfair?
How is that any different than the Jimmy Haslam's of the world or the owner of the Rams? I can't remember his name. These guys that use cash and bonuses to circumvent the salary cap and make the salary cap fairy dust and not real because they're just shelling out cash left and right, kicking the can down the road.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson's got a $60-some million cap hit this year in Cleveland. I promise you before
I'm sorry.
Before the season starts. I'm making a point here.
I know.
It's funny, but I'm making a point.
I'm sorry. Go.
If Deshaun Watson will not play on a $63 million cap hit this season, that will be converted to a bonus because Jimmy Haslam can just stroke a check and make it happen. So people telling me that if these players take a pay cut to come to Cincinnati, that's not fair. It is no different than these owners circumventing the salary cap by throwing cash around. Now, is Mike Brown the genius that gets 3 top-tier guys at their position to take a pay cut to come play in Cincinnati? I don't think so. It's their first big contracts. For Jefferson and Chase, it's their first big contracts. But there's a little bit of smoke there. And then you've got another comment from Chris Brad that says JJ is not represented by David Mulugeta. But guess what? Guess who Justin Jefferson's agent is?
Who?
I don't know his name. But it's the same guy that reps Joe Burrow, and it's the same guy that reps Jamar Chase. They all three have the same agent.
Why is the connection so? Why is it like we're sitting here and it's like, oh, this puzzle fits? Come on, just pull the trigger. Let's go, man. It would be so sick. Oh, it'd be so sick. Oh, I don't know.
How can I not at least believe it a little bit? I need something to cling on to. Obviously.
I'm trying
It's like
to
a
not get my hopes up.
5% thing. But
Yeah, I'm
man,
trying to
dude,
not get my
there,
hopes up.
it's like a conspiracy theory, man. Like you get these conspiracy theories going on the internet about certain things, and if you watch enough of them, you're like, man, some of this shit kind of makes sense. That's where I'm at. I'm like the Alex Jones of football conspiracy theories right now, just connecting dots and just like, man, this makes sense.
That's a really good way to put a label on it. Like it really feels like it because it's like the alien guy's like, look, I have a picture. Look, it's a picture, right? And it's like, okay, sweet, you have a picture, but like, does that really mean anything? But like, we've got like Jefferson out here saying, I'm jealous of them. That would be fun to do. Jamar Chase, hell yeah, I'd take a pay cut to play with him. That's my Jamar Chase impression. Joe Burrow, I'd love to have him in. Random pictures popping up of them sharing hotel rooms and hanging out. If it's a new picture, if it's old, throw that out of your minds. I get it. But there's so much smoke. There's so much smoke, dude. I don't know.
Lots of smoke. Lots of smoke. So
I'm
not one of the people out here saying that this is about to happen. There are some. And you know what? If these dudes are right, more power to them. More power to them for holding strong. When I DM, I'm like, yo, bro, can you tell me what this source is? Because I've done it. These people will be posted. I'll hit them in the DM like, look, dude, you're saying all this. Like, tell me what's up. I won't say nothing. And they won't say anything. Yeah. And I get it. If you have a source, you don't reveal your source.
Yeah.
Or they'll stop being your source. I get it.
Totally
I leaked the information I had because what's going to happen? Like, Tooney's sister's going to get mad at me, and then what? He's not going to talk to the Bengals the next time they lowball him, whatever. But in this situation, if these guys are plugged in somewhere in the building and they don't want to leak it, that's fine. I'm just saying, I'm a trustworthy individual. So bro, you can tell me who your sources are, and I won't tell anybody.
I wish I had a source. I don't have a source. You're my source for some stuff, to be honest. So, like, I don't have a source. A lot of people ask me all the time, dude, is this real? I'm like, dude, I have no freaking idea. I'm an idiot on Twitter, just like you, man. So I don't know, man. All right, we're beating.
Chris Babb says, do you think ML football has sources?
I have no clue.
I've talked to him. I will say I've talked to ML football.
Same.
ML football gave me the phone number of an NFL agent one time, and it worked.
Oh wow.
That's all I'll say.
You called an agent.
It was last offseason.
We'll talk later. But yeah, that guy ML football is nice as can be. He's put himself in a rough game, man. Throwing out prediction tweets and trying to be the I got it first guy. I never want to be the I got it first guy. I just don't have the stomach for it. That guy's put himself in a rough game, dude.
Let's talk about the time you got ML footballed.
Was that the T. Higgins Patriots?
Yes, dude. I'm pulling into Kroger, getting ready. You know, free agency. Me and Ron are locked in. Like, hey, if something big happens, we'll try to go live like we did with the Mixon thing. It was one of our best shows ever, viewership wise. We'll do some instant reaction videos, whatever. So, like, hey, man, like, we'll stay plugged in. If you're home, we'll both jump on. If one of us is home, we can do it, blah, blah, blah. I'm pulling into Kroger. Gotta get dog food or whatever we needed, paper towels, whatever. Ron calls me. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? He's like, we just traded T. Higgins. I'm like, what? What the hell are you talking about? He's like, we just traded T. Higgins. Sure. I'm like, all right, I'm pulling into Kroger right now, but I'll just leave. She can get the paper towels later. Yeah. And then like 3 minutes later, I text him like, all I see is a tweet from ML Football that says T. Higgins to the Patriots makes sense. And he's like, oh shit.
It was worded. I wish I said it was worded very poorly, and he got.
There's a jersey swap picture in it too. Yes. He's like him in a Patriots jersey.
Yes. Oh, I have a very close friend, like that I've known forever, who's still mad at me for texting him and doing the same thing I did to you. He's still upset with me. Yeah, I got fake Adam Schefter hardcore and thought we moved him. It was for like the third pick, right? It was like something insane. Like that's why I was so pumped about it. But check your sources, kids.
Yeah. We got. I've gotten Adarn Schefter before.
Yeah.
Where he said like the owner of the Panthers died.
Oh.
Or no, he said the owner of the Panthers was like convicted in the Jeffrey Epstein case. And I retweeted it like, holy shit, this is wild. And I didn't like look at my Twitter for like 5 more minutes. And there's people replying like, you're an idiot. Look at the account. And it's like some 12 follower account with Adam Schefter's picture and a blue check mark. I got there too.
Do you know, I've been got more than once. Like, I freely admit it. Like, it is what it is. It's part of being on the app and looking at not paying attention to shit. But a guy that always messages me first whenever I get got is James Rapine. He's like, "Hey, idiot, look at this account."
Yeah.
So anytime I get a message from James Rapine, like very quickly, like a direct message, because we talk freely, but like a direct message, I'm like, "Oh crap, that was probably in a Darn Schefter tweet." And sure as shit, he's there going, "Hey, look at that account, dummy."
I got the Rapine message once too, because
Yeah.
he had dropped some info like not publicly, and
Yeah.
I like threw a tweet out about it, and he sent me a message. He's like, "Hey, dude, shut up." I was like, "All right, my bad," in a joking way, not in a mean way,
Yeah.
a funny, the way you tell your buddy to shut up kind of way.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, all right."
Yeah. Like
'Cause
if Justin Jefferson traded the Bengals, let's see,
he's the James Rapine is the adult of Big Play Cincy.
He
Cincinnati.
is. I
Big
don't.
Play
Is it him
Cincinnati.
or Andrew? Is he or
No,
Andrew?
Andrew's more grown up than us.
Okay.
But I think that James is still the adult of Big Play Cincinnati.
James is the dad. And the weird thing in that scenario is I think I have like twice as many kids as he has running around my house. So that makes no sense. So I don't know, whatever. But I love James. I love Fox. Go watch their show, Enter the Jungle, all under the Big Play umbrella. Awesome, awesome network. Okay, we've beat the absolute dog shit out of Justin Jefferson news, if you can call it that. We're almost at an hour, but before we leave, let's talk the draft for like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the draft coming up and pending us doing something insane and we're not having a first round pick, which would be pretty cool. Are we going to be forced in to taking a defensive tackle at 18, do you think? Right? I mean, our options there at 18, in my mind, are two guys, Johnny Newton, Byron Murphy. Beyond that, you're looking at Mr. DWI himself, Sweat. So where are your thoughts on defensive tackle in the draft and where do you think it'll happen?
Well, a lot of the talk has still been offensive tackle because the
Yeah.
Trent Brown deal is just a Band-Aid. So when I said tackle only, I was talking offensive tackle.
Sure, but we have someone there. I know it looks like a Band-Aid, but we have a guy there. We don't have a
Well, and
DJ
that's the
Reader
thing.
now.
Are we going all in type thing? And all in move at 18 is Johnny Newton. Johnny Newton's an animal. I like Byron Murphy the second a lot. I like Johnny Newton much more.
Same.
I think that Johnny Newton is an instant impact kind of guy. I think Johnny Newton is a more athletic Geno Atkins, even though I hate to do the player comp thing sometimes, but I think that is a damn good competition for him or comparison for him, excuse me. But you do not have to draft an offensive tackle at 18 now. You can get an offensive tackle in the second round, groom him for a year if you'd like.
I think so.
But I don't think that they have to. I wouldn't rule out a wide receiver.
Oh my, at 18, you think so?
What if a Malik Neighbors fell?
Okay, yeah.
Or the other guy. Shit, I can't think of his name. There's
Thomas.
Brian Thomas Jr. Is probably the one more likely to fall. I think Neighbors is going like top 7, so that's probably wrong.
Probably, yeah.
But I let's say that they know T. Higgins is leaving. Let's say T. Higgins stays in Cincinnati this year on the franchise tag, disgruntled or not, or he sits out, whatever the case may be. Do they draft to have another dynamic wide receiver next to T. Higgins that they have for 5 years under team control on a rookie deal? And do the Dax Hill thing. They drafted Dax Hill knowing Jesse Bates was leaving. Do they do that with a receiver? I don't think it's out of the question.
I just think it's too early at 18. I just think it's a deep class. I think you can get a guy later on. And if you're staring now, if it's Brock Bowers at 18, I just think like you run to the podium. Like absolutely, you just take him. He's the Swiss Army knife that would be awesome in this offense. But if I'm looking at a wide receiver and then I'm looking at Johnny Newton or Murphy, I'm going defensive tackle. I think you can get just a receiver later on, and I'm taking Johnny Newton. If he's there, I'm taking it. Like I think that's it. And I think you kind of answered like, are they forced? Are they going to be forced to take one at 18? No, probably not. Right after discussion, because we've got brought in guys Rankins, and you can get a guy maybe in the next couple rounds. And in my mind, at defensive tackle specifically, I think they're going to take at least two. But I just don't see wide receiver happening at 18. I don't know, and I could be wrong, but like I think you can get a guy later on.
But just let me paint this scenario in your head.
Do it.
Let's say T. Higgins tells the Bengals, I will not be there. He's
Okay.
going to go the Le'Veon Bell route.
Ugh, yuck.
Le'Veon Bell sat out in 2018, and hindsight's 2020. It was a completely different time. It was a running back. The market was different. Everything was different, but it was a bad deal for him because he ended up signing for less money with the Jets, and then things never really got off the ground. But let's just say T. Higgins says
he's boxing YouTubers now. It looks like he's doing great,
Yeah, exactly. But let's say Tease just tells him, like, look, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be there. I will sit out the season.
Yeah.
If that's the case, you're looking at starting week 1 with Jamar Chase. Awesome. And who? Trenton Irwin? Yoshivas? Charlie Jones?
I don't know. I'm still taking Newton. I am. I still am. Even in that situation, that could sound crazy to some. It really could. But I think you can draft a guy that can contribute, maybe not as robustly as T. Higgins, but can contribute fine in the second and third round. I really do. And like you need
Second round Michigan man, Roman Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Is going to make somebody very, very happy. Yeah. If it's Cincinnati, that'd be great. But Roman Wilson is going to make an NFL team extremely happy.
Yeah, but there's guys in there I think you can get later on too, like Javon Baker, man. Like I just think there's guys you can get at receiver that can complement Jamar Chase. Like if we didn't have Jamar Chase and it was like, oh, we have to get a couple receivers, I'd be singing a different tune. But like we have Jamar Chase, man. I think we can be fine there and get a like probably instant impact guy in Johnny Newton and run with it. You know what I mean?
So, I do love Johnny Newton, man.
I do.
K Breezy asked in the chat, if T. Higgins were to sit out this season, does he lose that money? And yes.
Yeah, he does.
Because sitting out the season means he doesn't sign the franchise tag. So it would be him quite literally walking away from $21 million. But we saw Le'Veon Bell do it. This is a David Mulligetta client. This is a guy I think that could sit out a year and then get paid like a top end receiver next year. Look, Calvin Ridley just got $90 million.
I don't even
David Mulligetta client.
Yeah,
and he was average last year. Yeah. He wasn't even that good for Carolina or for Jacksonville last year.
Yeah.
So
insane overpay in my opinion, but I don't know.
But look, that's where the market.
Yeah.
So is somebody gonna get if Higgins says, "Hey, I gotta pass up $21 million this year so I can get 90 next year," he might do it.
I guess. I don't know. I don't see him sitting out, but like that's obviously like DEFCON 5. Like that's the worst situation if he decides to turn into a freaking drama queen. But whatever, dude. If you're gonna be a drama queen, be a drama queen, because no quarterback's gonna be able to stand up on a field because we're gonna have Johnny Newton in there and our guys off the edge screaming in to kill him. So that's what I think.
Johnny Newton is a hell of a prospect for me because I think he's going to be a better run defender than Geno Atkins was, because Geno Atkins was a 3-tech, kind of in a nose tackle's body.
Yeah,
I think, because he got after the passer. Now, I think people may underrate a little bit. He's not going to, he wouldn't be DJ Reader in this spot. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But I think people are starting to underestimate a little bit. I'm talking about BJ Hill.
Oh,
I think people are underestimating BJ Hill's ability to play nose tackle and claw in the middle a little bit. He's not going to be DJ Reader level. That's the top tier, the elites of the elite at nose tackle. But I think the Bengals, if they don't go with a Murphy or a Newton at 18, are fully prepared for BJ Hill to be the primary nose tackle in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, no, he gets forgotten about in this conversation. I totally agree. He's a great rotational piece in there. I just don't think he can be the guy. Like, I think
that's the thing with him. He's never been the guy. He's found a great role in a rotation. But you remember Wallace Gilberry?
I do. Yeah.
Wallace Gilberry was great in a Bengals interior defensive line rotation. Got a
Hmm.
little bit of money in Detroit to be the man. It didn't work out, and he wound up back
Yeah.
in Cincinnati on the cheap.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, in my mind, I think that's where you go at 18 if you got 18, because you've got two awesome choices that could be there. Beyond that, uh, I mean, I don't sweat. I'm gonna be honest. I think the Bengals probably took him off their board for at least the first 3 rounds, maybe even the fourth round after his DWI. Um, I think they're gonna not mess with that. I really don't. And if he happens to be there in the late third or whatever, or the fourth, okay, they take him. But I would be shocked, I think, if they took Sweat even at like 49. I don't think they'll take him.
Smart human being, James Rapine, says that he would be shocked if the Bengals drafted him.
Did
This
he?
is his second. Now, he was in Cincinnati last week for a visit, obviously before this happened.
Yeah, but then he did his
Um,
dumbassness.
but I don't think this is his first issue with something like this. And
He's had
now
party issues.
the reports are coming out that he's kind of a party animal, a
Yeah.
class clown. Sounds like a cool guy to maybe hang out with,
Yeah.
but maybe not a guy you invest a premium NFL draft pick into. And culture has been such a big thing in Cincinnati since Taylor got there. Say what you will about the guy, but he got rid of the Pac-Man Joneses, the Vontaze Burficts of the
Mhm.
world. And those were guys that brought negative press, regardless of your feelings on them. So I don't think that he just fits into how the culture is
I don't
going
either.
here.
Well, and it
But
sucks. It sucks though because he's a massive human being, and like he immediately like, there's your nose tackle. Here you go. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just sucks. It would have been cool if he could have been there at 49, in my opinion. But
there's a good comment here from Alex Gatto. I think that's the same guy I had like some crazy Twitter beef with. But he said, why not best player available at 18 and then Michael Hall at 49? He will be 20 at the time he's drafted. I like Michael Hall. I think Michael Hall is a very good prospect, and I love the
State,
fact
right?
that he is that young. He is a Buckeye.
That's
And
right.
As much
I don't
as much
know
as I
about
hate
him
the
at 49.
Buckeyes, if they can put stripes on their helmet and help the Bengals win, you guys know I'm all for it.
Uh,
Then immediately after that, Kate Breezy says, you guys are way too high on Michael Hall. There, I
I
said
think
it. So
I
a little
agree.
discourse in the chat.
I think I agree. I don't see him as the 49 pick. I mean, we brought in guys like we brought in Mason Smith. Obviously Sweat came in. There's other guys. I can't say this guy's name for the life of me. Out of Clemson. Like I think those all those guys I just mentioned go before Michael Hall. I don't think I like Michael Hall at 49. I get it. There's
Some
Buckeyes.
people are saying 49's too rich.
Yeah, there's Buckeye fans that are Bengals. There's a ton of you, and you're gonna want a Buckeye. But I don't see him. I don't want him at 49.
I like him as a prospect, though. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe I don't like him at 49, but I do like him as a prospect. Chris Brab says, "Wow, Drew praising a Buckeye. Hey, I was all on the DeJuan Jones train last year. I wanted DeJuan
I
Jones
was too.
bad.
Yep. We were at the
Sam
draft.
Hubbard.
We were at the draft party talking about DeJuan Jones, saying that they should take DeJuan Jones. I remember that discussion, and now he's a freaking Brown. God.
But I mean, then they took Michigan man DJ Turner, so everything was good.
Yeah, I love it. Yep, absolutely.
And I'm not taking DJ Turner slander. I think he's going to shock a lot of people this year. But Chris, I'll praise Buckeyes, man. Love Sam Hubbard. Maybe my favorite Buckeye ever. Von Bell's back. Love Von Bell. These dudes can come from Iraq, but if they put stripes on their helmet and help the Bengals win football games, I'm all for it. I've said that on many a show.
Osama been throwing touchdowns. Let's go, baby. I'm in.
Alex also asked, have we been to the draft? That's for sure on his bucket list. I'm kicking around the idea of going up there this year, but it's probably way too late. Hotels are probably way too booked. I probably won't make it up there, but I would like to go. I do think it would be cool as hell to go.
I should have gone when it was in Cleveland. I should have just drove my ass up there and gone. I just was lazy and didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I could have not. Yeah, that's 3 hours. We could have come home after. But I would like to go to the draft and be a dumbass in front of a camera at the draft. I think that'd be cool.
Mhm.
4 hours up 75 is reachable in Detroit. It is reachable in Detroit. I've got some family up there. I could probably stay up there, so we'll see. Also got a kid to worry about, a life at home,
Yeah.
things like that I got to look into. But we're
Mhm.
probably going to dive into the more extensive draft talk here. The draft's 2 weeks away. We will not be live the night of the draft, I don't believe, because you are going to
Yeah,
be in an undisclosed location
I will be.
on the other
Yes.
side of the planet.
My apologies to everyone here.
So our draft coverage is, I guess, up in the air right now of how we'll do it. Lots of people do live draft shows. Maybe we'll just record reaction videos and post them on our social media channels for you guys. We haven't really hammered that out yet because Ron has work responsibilities. So maybe next week we do our final mock draft
That'd be
a
fun.
week
Yeah, we
before the
could do
draft.
that. I'll be
Um,
available during the draft. I just believe it'll be like 2 or 3 in the morning. So we'll figure it out. I think reaction videos are probably the way to go here. Everybody's got their live draft show, and we'll figure that out. And I'll tell the United States government that I'm unavailable next year's draft. How about that?
do you have that kind of pull?
No, not at all. They just they point
I
they
feel like
point
the
at
government probably just, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
They
you
they
got
point
shit.
I
You got
shoot.
shit going on. Sorry about it.
Sorry, bud. Pack your bag. Get your never mind. Yeah, yes, but we'll do what we can, man. We'll tell the bad guys to hold off. I think we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, can you guys stop terrorism for one day and
Yeah,
just let me
exactly.
have
Chill,
this
man.
draft?
Chill out, dude. Come on. It's the
So we've
NFL
had a good
draft.
show. I know one thing that happens when the draft is on. I will be drinking ice cold garage beer, a proud sponsor of the Big Play Network.
Beer Mike.
I picked up a 12-pack today. Wedge Gordon, you're in the chat. Wedge Gordon tagged me on Twitter the other day and said our local Kroger, because we live in the same area, our local Kroger had no garage beer lime. Can confirm. Went
Disgrace.
today before show. Garage beer lime back in stock at Kroger Heineke. I grabbed a 12-pack and I got home. My wife's like, "Oh, you got some?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You have a bunch in the fridge." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I could also just get more."
Yeah. What do you mean, Victoria? Chill.
I gotta have a backup 12-pack.
Come on. Yeah.
So Wedge, if you get to the Kroger on Heineke, there's a few of them left, a couple 12-packs left. I picked one up today. We love Garage Beer. They send me cool clothes. They send us cool stickers. They sponsor our show. They make a great beer. And as we learned today, they make a hell of a microphone cover.
Yeah, they do. Their cans are great.
We'll have to make sure that they know that you did that.
Yeah, I'll post a picture. I got a good photo. We dove into Reds. We dove into FC Cincinnati. We talked Bengals, uniform changes, things like that. Kicked the can around on the probably pick 18 through 49 a little bit. Next week we'll dive deeper into it because we got to probably talk about offensive tackles. That's just the evergreen need for this team. But I've got nothing left except for we're well over. I think 600 across all platforms live listening, which is very impressive. Thank you guys for being here. We always love it. Who day?
Yes, and before we get out of here, code BigPlay100 with the QR code on your phone, on your screen. You can scan that. You can make a $25 bet. You get $100 in bet credits. Don't forget about Tipico's cashback rewards. As you bet, you earn cash back to bet with. So we're going to be doing some more boosts for the Reds. I like the idea of trying to get the listeners involved and our social media followers involved in picking a leg in the parlay. Have to work with the Big Play guys and the Tipico guys on how to do that, but we can try to work that out.
Confirm QR code works.
Yeah, QR code absolutely works. New users only, obviously. That's how the sportsbook thing works. Yeah. But you can bet with us. Let's just say they're better than that sportsbook that works with the Bengals.
They're my first real sportsbook to lean on. They're all I know. So let's go. Tipico.
It takes an hour to build a parlay on Betfred, is all I know. You know what? I should take the high. I should take the high route on that situation. It took me a long time to get them to pay me money that I was owed. But before I get somebody in trouble or become too classless or whatever you would like to call it,
It's too late for that.
we can get up out of here. K Breezy has a very good point. For those of you watching on YouTube, please like the video, subscribe to our channel. You can even turn on notifications so you get notifications when we post things or go live. I know we get a lot of viewership from Twitter. I don't think that you can subscribe on Twitter, but you can retweet it for us. You can like it for us. You can follow us at Big Play CIN Show on Twitter or X.com, whatever you want to call it. So we'll cut the promos here at the end, do our ad reads here at the end. Casey McCollister has liked the stream, producer from Chatterbox. Love the Chatterbox boys. They're good friends of mine. I like to tune into their stuff and say ridiculous things in their show chat.
Yeah.
They have some of the best Reds coverage in the market.
No,
we talk Reds
cross play,
and that's cool. But they go live after every single Reds game. 162 games. Trace dedication. And Nick go live. They do numbers. They have great Reds coverage. So if you're looking for the daily Reds coverage, that's who I would recommend at Seabox Sports. Those guys are great.
Cool studio.
We'll talk to you. Yeah, studio's awesome. Actually been down there a couple of times. Very, very cool studio that they've built out. We're the dumb fans in the stands that talk baseball with you guys on that level. They can get in with you on the real deep baseball level. So shout out to them. Shout out to that helmet. Shout out to the fact that I haven't spent $12 on Amazon to get one yet. That is a big miss.
It's the real one, I think, unless somebody tells me it's not.
That's a real Viking helmet. So if I hit you with a stick, you wouldn't feel it.
It's the real one they use in the dugout. Somebody's going to call me out and call me a liar, but it looks identical. So unless I'm told otherwise, it's the real one they use in the dugout.
Hey, I love it, man. I love to pull out I like to wear the Reds jersey and then have my Horny Boys shirt underneath it when they hit a homer and just showing the Horny Boys off. Shout out LFG Cincy. And, we're a no free ads kind of thing.
They rock.
If you're creating Cincinnati content, I love you guys and I support you and I want you to do well. So
just like
the
these
no
guys,
free ads doesn't count. Yeah. Just like the Cincy hat, they got a new hat coming out. They got an event Saturday. You can find details on their Twitter for that. Great supporters of ours. Will continue to be supporters of ours. Will continue to be involved with us as we transition from Blue Collar Bengals to Big Play Cincy. Matt has given permission for the Bengals to use the Cincy logo as their third helmet. So we have to ride that train up and get that to Mike Brown's eyeballs.
Yep, 100%. We do this every show. We say we're going to leave, and then we talk for another 10 minutes.
Dude, it's if I'm ever anywhere with my wife and she asks, like, hey, are you ready to go? I'm like, yeah. I know I don't have to stand up for 15 more minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's going to take a half hour to say goodbye. That's us on this show. Exactly. She's on the phone with my mother-in-law. I make fun of her and I count because they always say, all right, I'm going to go like 3 times before they actually hang up.
See you later.
So I that's the kind of shit that we do at the end of the show.
100%.
So yeah, we'll actually get up out of here, let you get to your nights. We can go be productive members of our households. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. We're going to do a full-out mock draft. We just decided that live. So sorry, Ron, you got work to do. We got research to do.
That's okay.
The old Midwest goodbye is what Gordon's talking about. That is exactly what we do. We love every single one of you.
Sorry.
Let me stick past you there.
Yeah.
We love all you guys. We will see you guys next week on Big Play Cincy.